everybody is effectively around the body of Ezra. We are going to pick up in that moment as everybody is kind of running to Ezra. And I think in about the same moment, you'll notice for a moment as Gallian is kind of just like stepping back in awe. We are going to have him exit the scene stage left, as you will hear Bruno running up from the east as he's seen the battle. You would have seen how they turned that ambush into their favor. On many levels, it would be impressive and the very reason why you are seeking out this group. But as you get closer, you are going to notice Burke with Ezra, like Burke kneeled down on the ground, Ezra's body limp within his hands, and he's going to be mourning his friend. And the closer that you get, the more you realize that though you've searched for these people, maybe the reason you've been searching for them might mean a lot more than simply the adventures and the glory, that there are higher costs to be paid. But with that, if you can describe yourself while you run into the scene, what does Bruno look like to the people who see him for the first time?
All right, so Bruno is 4 foot 8 inches in height. He is light brown skinned. He is like 34 of age. His eyes are of hazel, and his hair is of black, as well as his beard. He dons the symbol on his shield, which is of an upright mace in front of a tall boot that you can see on his shield, signaling that he believes in the god of Marfamber Druid, god of the Wanderers.
They would have no clue who that is.
Oh, they don't? They have nobody.
You're a
there's no
dwarf. That's a dwarf pantheon.
Oh.
They're all
I
humans.
thought they would know from, like, Forden or something. I did not know that.
They were not religious people.
Oh. Well, there you go.
They would see the symbol, though.
They'll see the symbol, though. So they see the symbol, and he is a little bit in glee from the battle. However, he does look a little bit more morbid sad for the fallen that's being hugged right now.
Let me have the two of you, Ezra and Jack. My bad. Let me have Justin. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Justin, will you please do an intelligence check for me? I can't stop laughing. I'm so sorry, Christopher.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Excellent. Justin, you see a dwarf running towards you. So, in the process of this happening, while your attention is drawn towards this person, while your attention is drawn towards the person who is slain on the ground, something else is going to happen at the same time. There is going to start to be a very similar storm grouping overhead as when Ezra first summoned the lightning in the initial battle. It's probably 40 minutes back. So on some level, you might have seen it, Bruno, depending on how far you were coming from. You might have seen the initial battles, like some of the signs of it, but probably not as likely. But as a seemingly incredibly local storm kind of comes out of nowhere, the body of Ezra is actually going to start to arc as lightning starts to arc up from the ground. It's going to arc through Burke's armor into Ezra. And in the very moments of, as you start to hear these pops, you are going to see as his flesh is going to be made anew. He seems to be repairing before your eyes. He might have a little bit of a different color. As he comes back, he's certainly not going to be as like pink and kind of rosy as he might have been before. He certainly still has some like charred remains around him. But there is going to be a gasp. And Ezra, can you describe what your character looks like as you gasp back to life?
Well, as Ezra gasps back to life, you see he's a man about 5'4", and that used to have fair skin, not so much. Brown hair going down to the shoulder, white streaking through, a little bit of a scruffy beard, brown clothes.
So as far as things go, just Jason, can you do a quick physical description of yourself?
Sure. So Justin's inch or two under 6 feet, pretty kind of scrawny build. He's wearing sort of dark leather armor. Got a pretty fine looking bow slung over his back. See his sword and a couple daggers at his hip. Brown hair, brown eyes. Yeah, that's basically probably what you'd see. And he's looking pretty rough for wear. So, not as bad as Ezra was looking, but he's definitely been bloodied up in the fight.
So the rest of the group that you are going to see before you, Bruno, the man who is currently holding Ezra as he comes to, probably similar height. He's knelt down, so it's hard to really tell exactly, but he probably kneels about at your height. He is blonde, well armored, seems to have symbols of a flaming sword across his shield and on his actual breastplate. Otherwise seems to be a tanned male. Pretty young, depending on what your experience of a human is. He would still look pretty childlike, doesn't have a beard, so clearly he's not that much of a man. You would see another person who seems to have darker brown hair. Again, not much of a man. He's got no beard at all. He seems to be wearing kind of like a leather armor, probably about the same age, probably stands about the same height as the others. Pretty unremarkable as far as things go. These people are poorly clad in beards. They all seem to be children. And then you see another person who has fiery red hair. The hair is long like a beard should be, but no beard to speak of. Again, probably similar age. Clearly, these people are children still. And roughly the same height, just a little bit shorter. And depending on if they look to you, this one who is clad in just kind of robes seems to have green eyes. And that's kind of the initial party that you see ahead of you. And with that, I think you all will have that initial, what are you doing in the moments you come to? Justin and Ezra, on some level, you would still remember that there are children to be found here. But you've also just died, Ezra, and you have the experience we shared. So you have those things to deal with. And Justin, you just watched again a situation come about that shouldn't really happen. So what are you all thinking as you progress here?
As Bruno's running towards us, does he have any, I don't know, he doesn't have any weapons drawn or anything, right?
All I have is my shield out for now, as I'm trying to take a look of what's been happening.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just thinking, like,
What weapons do you have on you? Because I don't think you would have weapons like well hidden or anything. So they would be able to spot.
I do have a
weapons on you.
long sword at my hip, but it's not drawn. And I also do have a light hammer as well on the other side of me.
Yeah, so you would see kind of like on in the scabbard the longsword, as well as probably under his shielded arm, the light hammer that's kind of hanging from the hilt. Might be bouncing a little bit, but more or less, this stout fellow is running towards you as unthreateningly as someone who is on some level clearly an adventurer could run.
Okay, so Justin's he's gonna turn back towards Ezra. He's gonna look to Burke and kind of be like, "Is that you?" And then he's gonna look to Ezra, be like, just kind of sort
That
of
was neither
amazed.
I nor Tempest.
Ezra, are you okay? Was it
In a
Hamza?
no, it someone else.
Well, whoever it was, thank whoever it was. Thought we lost you again.
Yeah, that
Are
is
you
coming out. Very dangerous friend.
are you able to walk? Don't think we should linger here.
I see. Fine.
You would see on some level, everywhere where his wounds were, they've all healed. He certainly has signs of the blood that he would have shed prior to the explosion of the last fireball. But by and large, his body seems pristine. His flesh is new, and there's a new youth that is within him. Um, but like looking over things, pretty much everyone here is bloodied and beat. Obviously, with the exception then of Ezra and Bruno, seem to be fresh.
Okay, so Justin's gonna sort of, as Ezra tells me he's feeling all right, he's gonna sort of like nod and sort of give a small sigh of relief, and then he's gonna turn his attention back towards Bruno as he's running towards them, and he'll call out like, "Hail, friend or foe?" Obviously, a foe wouldn't answer, but
Hey, I'm threatening over here. Are you all right?
that's relatively. We're all I'll glance back at Ezra again, and then kind of shake his head in almost like awe again, and then turn it back to like, we're all alive at least.
Well, that's very good then. This must be quite a scuffle you got here.
Yeah, one might call it that.
Something whoever's attacked us, they're something strange about them. They almost as if they came straight out of the water, and they've attacked us twice. So I'm thinking we might need to make some room. Though there are also two children apparently missing within the city. He'll point south towards the town of Leilon. What's your name, friend? To Bruno.
Hi, my name is Bruno. And I'm here to come to help you.
We could certainly use it. Who sent you?
Ah,
How did you find us?
a relative of Tharden. I heard how you helped him, and how brave and such courageous you are. So I had to track you down, of course, and see if I could join you.
Orden, you say?
Indeed, he is my third cousin. Don't you know?
Tharden Rockseeker.
Yes, the very same.
Good. Good. Burke's gonna stand at that point and look to the east. We should either move to take the city or try to find those who have already fled it. And we can rest when either of those is complete.
I think we need to look for the children.
The riders came from the city. Don't disagree the children need help. But are we in condition to encounter more?
Yes, he's kind of torn. He wants to go after the children immediately, but Burke brings up a good point. We're in no condition for another fight right now. So he'll kind of shake his head. And perhaps we should. Suppose they'll need to wait a bit longer. Perhaps we should try and find the larger group. Ezra, what do you think?
Thinking that I feel fine. Take the fight to them. Certainly. Showers them. Depends on think. You don't feel up to it.
I have to admit I'm in fairly rough shape. Kind of wince and kind of hold his side. And he's obviously got a lot of sort of nicks and cuts and.
Are you under half right now, Justin?
Yes, very much.
Under 1/4?
Yes.
So Ellawood, Burke, and Justin are all severely bloodied, and Victor is bloodied. You all have to make that decision where you want to go. Where you want to push, or do you want to actually try to take a rest?
Well, seeing as you're all so blooded, I think I can get you all up in.
Perhaps we should put a little distance between ourselves and the shoreline and try to get a rest in the hills a bit to the east. Or is this all grassland, I guess, kind of where we are?
There's like a little bit of elevation change between like the dunes that cover the actual like ocean side. A little bit of grassland to the actual high road. It's probably about like 100 or so feet at any given time, like 50 to 100 feet. The actual high road is about 20 or so feet wide, and then it's back to grassland on the opposite side of that, and that probably stretches at any given point for like a 1/4 mile or a 1/2 mile before you start to get to the trees that eventually start to gain elevation into the hills that become the Sword Mountains. So you guys are essentially on coastal grassland, but the high road itself is built up so it has that view to the grassland on either side of it. And you are still about a 1/4 mile north of Leilon, so you have a view of Leilon to the south of you, but it's a ruined city. There's very little to it that looks like a city other than like the initial building of a palisade. You see the ruined tower of the wizard Thalavar, and signs that maybe things are still awry in the city itself. Let me have everybody do a perception check. So I think you might be able to pick up a little bit of signs that on the south side of Leilon, between the coast and where you can see like the beginning edges of the swamp that is the Mirror of Dead Men, you can see the first signs that there's another storm building in that area. And that's vaguely where you understand the fishery to be. It's that last bit of space between the town and the actual waters are where most of the fishing fleet will be docking at any given point, and a lot of the actual production and like manufacturing comes to mind, but it is the wrong processing. Processing will happen, and there seems to be something happening in that area. It's hard to make out what. It seems like maybe it's just a storm, but it's again a situation where it feels very localized. It's not just that the weather is bad on the coast. It's almost as if you see the weather localized over a part, if not all of this town, but it seems like it's over the fisheries. They just in particular are set down over a little cliff's edge, and you have the least view of that actual like coast between Leilon and the actual sea. So just to step to the side, you all have the option. You have two people with healing abilities that are fully long rested. You guys can sink those resources into yourselves to try to heal up and be able to take the fight into the city. Or you can leave the city to be for now, and hope that those children, because you guys have just heard the children are there. You don't know how long they've been missing. You don't know how long this assault's been going on. And the actual people who are out of the city, none of them were prepared to go in and fight whatever was in here. So you all can make that decision, but that is one of the avenues that you have, is to use those resources to try to take the city. And then the other option is to try to return to where Griselda and the other town speakers were essentially holding a town meeting outside of Leilon.
Well, Justin will say, like, if you can get me up a bit, I'm willing to head down into the city, try and find the children. It might have a bit of ointment left too I can use.
Ezra, Bruno, thoughts? You're the two with the spells.
Well, as he does pull out a bottle, I do have a potion that can heal up your wounds. I got it in town from way back when, and holding on to ever since.
And I think actually kill our enemy because
So I'm fine whatever you all collectively decide. Even
just out of character. Out of character, I'm not making decisions for the other three characters. The three of you are the collective who has to make the decision. As far as things go, like mechanics-wise, using up the Kyotin's ointment might be a good idea. It's more powerful than healing, and it will give you a chance to heal some of the wounds in a more substantial way. But I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, you guys probably need more than just what you can bring with potions. And you also would have seen, as healers go down, potions are the things that get healers up when there's nobody to heal a healer. So there's some level of, like, a healing potion that's meant for keeping people alive when you're down type of thing. But you have to find those balances right now, because it is resources or a rest. And that's what the three of you have to decide here.
yeah, I vote.
I'll second that then.
All right. So I'm gonna use one of the remaining uses of the ointment.
How many do you have remaining?
Assuming Victor just used the one, I only caught the one use in the last fight.
I feel like I might have marked it, though. What's it actually say?
Oh, 2 of 5 uses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I marked it.
Okay, so I'll use one of those two.
Burke's going to reach out his arm for the ointment.
Oh, like Burke is asking for it for it.
Yep, Burke's at 1 hit point.
Okay, I'll hand the rest of the what's
So
left
you
to
can
him.
delete it. Ouch. All right, so right now you guys have Burke at 8, Ellawood at 7, and Victor at 17. You still have Burke and Ellawood are both severely bloodied. Victor is bloodied. Justin's probably at full hit points now.
Almost close. That roll really helped. I maxed out the healing for that.
So what are you all thinking?
Sounds like we're. Do we have any Ezra
No,
or
at this
Burke?
point, I'm trying to say, what are you all thinking healing wise? Bruno and Ezra are in control of their characters who have healing potential. Burke has healing spells. I can burn all of his spells, but you don't necessarily want to burn all of somebody's spell.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like Ezra and Bruno, what do you have for healing wise?
Well, I can use Cure Wounds on you.
And I have
Just-
healing word.
Just who is the worst of where is what I want to know.
Burke and Ellawood both are severely bloodied. So if you can healing wounds each of them, or cure wounds each of them, that would be great.
All right. I'll both do level 1 Cure Wounds on each of them.
So Burke first.
Okay, so Burke got 4, and the other got 10.
Ezra will. Healing word. Hollywood. Both of them.
So Burke first. Burke is still bloodied. I think Victor is still bloodied. But you all are at least approaching a little bit closer to being able to step into combat. And I think you guys are at least probably a little bit closer to power expenditure where everything kind of sits. But if you all are interested in moving into town, we can approach it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're all good to go there.
If we run into anything sizable, we may need to consider fleeing, but take our chances and try to get in and out as quickly as we can. So yeah, I think we're heading to the city.
So, as you start to approach to the city, you're going to get kind of within the initial outskirts, and as you gain the first view of the actual town of Leilon, there is going to be another rush coming from out of the gates, as another cart is going to ride forward on horses of water. There are 2 knights riding the 2 horses, and there seem to be 2 archers on the backs of these carts. Or on the back of the cart. They are closing in on you.
We need to flee this one.
How far away are they? 100?
They're approaching that distance. They might be outside of it.
Can I hold like an action like to get feet? Cast a spell?
They are close to 100 feet. Cast a spell.
I'm casting Erupting Earth. How did I do it?
There should be the little marker that just says display in BTT.
Half as much.
Alright, so as the earth starts to tear up and crumble beneath the horses, one of the archers is going to fall from the cart. As she is falling, she is going to release an arrow towards you. I believe that is going to miss with a 12 to hit. And then landing, she's going to drop another one, and that one should hit you. Oh, wrong die. And she is going to do 10 points of piercing damage as she lands. One of the knights seems entirely unaffected as he rides on. The other seems to lose a little bit of ground on his horse, but he otherwise seems to hold to and regains his composure pretty quickly. And the other of the archers seems to be riding on the cart and holding fast at that point. Thoughts from the rest of you? They're still closing in on you.
Jasmine, he'd like to draw his bow and fire an arrow at the closest charging horse.
Right now, the horses are
underneath.
both pulling the wagons, so they're just kind of equal. You can just pick one.
Oh, okay. I'll pick the right one.
And you're shooting at the horse. A horse made of water.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe my magical short bow might do something to it since I've seen it kill like wraiths and stuff before.
Gotcha. Roll your attack.
And I was going to say it'd be disadvantage if it's more than 80 feet, but
It's beyond the 80 feet, but it won't matter there. It seems to fly through the horse and stick into the cart beyond.
shit. And I'm going to start essentially fleeing backwards, like back north, I guess, away from them.
Bruno, Ezra, just standing there in shock.
I would probably follow. Bit.
Yeah, I'll be trying to get distance as well.
So
Just tell me when he ever comes 60 feet of range.
As you all are trying to flee, what are you trying to accomplish here? Where are you going for? Are you following the road? Are you trying to make for where you saw the commoners last? What are you thinking? How do you expect to get away from this wagon-drawn cart? Horse-drawn wagon.
Maybe we get off the road, sort of head east, sort of away from the water.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
I feel like outrun. Maybe get on the east. Get some rougher terrain. Try to make a stand.
Yeah, so like rather than Jason fleeing north, gonna have him flee east into the sort of the grasslands instead. After he
That's
takes
legit.
that shot.
So as you all start to flee to the north, a few more arrows are loosed towards you. Burke is going to get hit by one that pierces through his armor, and he's going to take 11 damage. You see as there's like arterial bleeding from this hit. He is again severely bloodied. And 2 are going to sink into Ellawood, which actually, does he have shield? He does not. So 2 of them are going to sink into Ellawood. And he's going to take, is that 16? So he's back to severely bloodied as well. So as you all are fleeing, how are you trying to find a way to stand against these horse warriors?
Well, if one of them comes close to me, I'm gonna cast hold.
You gonna go for a hold person? Roll it?
Yeah.
Or post it?
Yeah,
What's your
if
DC?
Are they close? 60 feet already?
Sure. What's your DC?
DC 13.
So one of the knights is going to halt on his horse. As the wagon crashes to a halt, the other knight is going to ride right through the barding, and the creature is just going to ride forward.
Nice.
So I guess when I can, whenever it comes around to me again, I would sort of like stop, turn, and fire an arrow at the still charging knight.
Roll it.
Sorry, I hit the regular short bow first by accident.
It's still going to be the 1 regardless, though. The roll is what
Okay.
matters. We can add the +1 anytime. It's different like that. That, again, is just one of those classics. I don't care if you guys roll the proper thing at any given time. It's the dice that we will make fit with the roll it should have been.
Sure.
And that will work in your favor just as often as it does not work in your favor like that.
All right. Is there any higher ground near us we can aim for?
Roll a perception check. Looking around, you can see like a rise, but there's not higher ground per se. This is essentially plains. The road was among the highest grounds in this area without having a long distance that you already clearly do not have the speed to cover. Like, I mean, you could, but you would have to abandon everybody. These horses otherwise run at about the exact same speed as you move. If you
Right,
used
okay.
everything to move.
Yeah, so I think it sounds like Ezra's got the right idea. We just have to make our stand. Not going to outrun him.
Ezra, any thoughts there?
Yeah, we're gonna make her stand here. I'm gonna wild shape.
What are you
Not
going
big.
for? Black Bear? Word. So the knight that kept moving is going to charge down Victor. And I believe that lance hit is going to hit. And then 2 archers. It's like one is at Jastin, and the other is at Ellawood. Let's see. 14 hit you, Jastin,
That misses.
but a 22 should definitely hit.
Yeah.
That one will do 11 damage to you, piercing. And again, I think both of those arrows are going to hit Ellawood. And with 10, 16 more damage, I think Ellawood is going to fall unconscious. His last... Yeah, see, this is one of those things where it sucks, actually. Operate other guys. I don't know what the proper way to do this is. I really miss having a full party. We're gonna go for... He is dropping 2 dragon breaths in the last 2 moments. And he's going to cast... Oh, wait, those are concentration. So he's going to cast Dragon's Breath on Bruno. And then as he spins from the second set of arrows there, he is going to Ice Knife into the knight that is charging, or that is still attached to the horses. And that's where he will go unconscious. Ooh, fun fact. So what are the 3 of you doing right now?
Justin's going to just try and still keep as much range as he can and keep firing arrows. Maybe fire at the knight that rode in on Victor. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would turn my aim on it as it's going after Victor. And I'm going to use, if I can, use one of my two remaining Bloodhawk arrows.
Go for it. That will hit. And then roll, I think it's just an even or odd.
Oh, yeah.
I believe even is that it disappears or is broken.
Expended on odd, so I lost it.
All right, word.
Rider down.
that rode down Victor, yes, he is. Like, Victor would probably be at the back of the party as you all flee, and he was just the first to have been rode into.
Okay, then Blackberry's gonna run him down and try to fight him.
That is going to miss. That will hit. That knight is bleeding pretty profusely at this point. Bruno, what are you doing?
How is my person that is still in hold, or did he break out?
Still seems to be holding that position.
All right then. Who's the one that's pretty bloodied right now? That knight?
The one that's on the party. But yeah, the other knight.
Alrighty then. I guess I'll go attack him with my like how far away is he from me? Is he pretty close? From me
Let's
being
say
near the
within
party?
25 feet, because I think you've got 25-foot movement.
Yes, indeed I do.
25 feet.
Alright, so I'm gonna charge at him with my longsword.
It's going to smash into him and deal 12.
And I believe I have to do a concentration or something for my whole person.
Did you take damage?
No, I did not take any damage.
No, you just concentrate on the spell for whole person.
Okay then.
Which does remind me, trying to retcon having Ellawood cast a spell as he goes unconscious. It is silly to have it be a concentration spell. So pretend like you were never dragon breathed, because that was a fail on my part. But I will take the roll for that ice knife. Think it's pretty safe to say Burke's going to run up and charge that same knight. Everybody agree with that thought?
Indeed.
Yep.
I feel like he is the Warhammer.
I think he typically uses it one-handed, right? Because he uses the shield.
Yeah, he rocks a shield. And we will see. That knight is severely wounded right now. Do you all want Victor to try to take him out? Do you want Victor to go after both of the archers? He has 2 Eldritch Blasts that he can basically do right now.
I think you should focus on those archers. We got this guy pretty pinned down.
Would he have disadvantage against the knight, or against anybody? I guess with I don't know. Is Eldritch Blast considered a ranged attack?
In general, these knights are using lances, so they're actually attacking from outside of 5 feet range. And as well, mounted combat, you're usually riding through. And again, simply because this is Theater of the Mind as a random encounter, it's not one of those things where it's extremely strategic. We can make things happen as it is necessary. I would say it is more likely than not that these knights are going to do what they can not to be in combat, because they are doing like ride-bys, and they are either disengaging as they move past, engaging different people on purpose. But in general, I would say it's more than likely that he is not specifically in combat with Victor at this point.
Mechanically, I feel like Victor should go after the knight.
Both shots?
I would say yes. Ezra, I don't know. What do you think?
I would say
Yeah.
we should split him up. Try to.
Well, I'm thinking action economy, like make sure that he goes down, and that's one less attacker.
Killing the knight is the good choice. If it wastes a shot to remove an action, that's pretty fucking important.
Yeah. I'm full agree on that.
Yeah.
Even if he's at 1 hit point and he lands another hit.
Yeah, if you guys had gone for 1 shot, it would have been, he'd still be alive. That second hit is going to blast him off of the knight, off of the horse. As the knight dismounts the horse, the horse is going to dissipate into water, and the knight is going to smash into the ground and cease to move. The two archers one is still on the cart, kind of readying herself. She is going to dismount and move to one side, and the other is going to split and go the opposite direction. They are going to look to... It's like we're going to get Justin. Elwood is down. They are going to go for Elwood and Bruno right here. Or not Elwood, Justin and Bruno. So shots on Justin. 14 you said was a miss, Justin?
Yes.
So they're going to do 8 piercing damage to you. And then the 14 is going to miss. And 11 piercing damage to you, Bruno.
Okay.
So Jason is once more looking severely bloodied.
To me, it was just a flesh wound.
So what are the three of you doing here?
Well, after we took that guy down, how's my hold person guy again?
Seems to be still holding that position.
Alrighty then. How far are one of the archers? Like, who's the closest archer to me?
They're probably about 70 or so feet away at this point.
Okay. I was thinking of doing another whole person, but he's 70 feet, not 60.
If hold person is concentration, you can only hold one person.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Never mind, man. That would have been stupid.
Ezra, Jason, what are you all doing while he thinks?
Ezra
Jason
is
would-
gonna-
No, go ahead, Ezra.
Yeah. Either way, Ezra is gonna dash one of them. Get in their face.
Movement speed 30 on a bear?
40.
40?
80.
Alright, so you make it to one of the archers. Do you have a preference if you're going for one to the north, one to the south? Which direction? They split where the cart halted.
I'll take this out.
You said south?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Your mic's just breaking up a little bit. I don't know. Jason, what are you doing here?
I'm thinking I'm going to take a shot at the knight while it's held still.
Go for it. Bruno, what are you doing?
I'm thinking I'm gonna. I'm still thinking on it. I have two options: either to use my spell Find Steed and try to ride up close, or do something else.
Act now. Do it. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna cast Misty Step and teleport. Is there any like trees in this like plain area or something?
It's an open plain. There's next
The
to
open
nothing.
plain. Okay. Back it up. I'm gonna just use Find Steed, and I'm gonna spawn an elk.
Did you look at the casting time of Flying Steed?
Yes, 10 minutes.
We are talking in seconds right now.
Okay. We're not talking in minutes. That is a problem. I guess I'm just trying to run up there with my shield. You know what? Yeah, that's pretty
So you
much
can
it. All
clear-
we can do.
You can clear 50 feet. What are you going for? Going after the bear, going after the archer who is unoccupied, or going towards the knight?
I'm going to go after the bear. Back him up.
Gotcha. DC 13 from you, Bruno? Spell save DC?
Wait, what do you mean?
What is your spell save DC? If you click your spell tab, it should say at the top
it
right.
is DC 13.
Gotcha. Knight seems to hold. Let's see. One of the archers. She's going to draw her short sword and make 2 attacks at the bear on top of her. let's see, what is that? A 20 and a 16 to hit. I feel like both of those will hit you.
It will.
And it's going to do 9 and 8 piercing damage. So you should have 17 piercing damage.
Still a bear, at least.
Other archer is about to fire into Victor. I think both of those are going to... Nope, that's right below his AC. So a single hit pierces into Victor, doing another 9. Yeah, Victor is severely bloodied. He is going to respond with 2 Eldritch Blasts into that same creature. Both of those are going to miss. What are all of you doing?
I'm still trying to follow up towards the bear.
I'm gonna fire again at the knight while it's still held.
Go for it. And you'll be able to close in and assist fighting that creature, so the 2 of you can make your attacks on that archer.
Me and bear.
Yes.
And I believe I can attack again with my extra attack.
When you've got extra attack, you can indeed. It should actually say in your actions how many attacks you have per attack action.
And I can't believe I forgot to cunning dodge those attacks. I haven't played Justin.
Oh, the reaction?
Yeah, but I completely forgot about it.
Would an 18 hit?
The 18's going to hit. The longsword strikes are going to miss as she is able to duck and dodge. Anytime you roll the damage right away. I want everything rolled ahead of time, but if you just roll the damage, we can figure it out in the long run. The goal is always to speed up combats.
Okay. It's a damage on.
So, Jason, you've got the knight severely bloodied. This archer is battling into the 2 of you all here. She's looking fine. She's still moving pretty quick, but you can definitely tell having her sword drawn is not an ideal situation. The other archer is going to start to aim down on the group. How is everybody looking right now? Ezra, are you bloodied? Are you looking okay on the bear?
The bear is looking severely bloody.
Gotcha.
And Jason's severely bloodied.
Well, I'm looking peachy fine.
All right, I think we're gonna have Burke running up towards the combat with the archer, and he is going to guiding bolt into the knight, and that's going to destroy the knight.
Rip that knight, but honestly, Bruno just doesn't care.
Next to the archers is going to target Justin with 2 shots here. I believe one of those is going to be the hit with a 23.
I'm down.
Probably drop you with 12.
Yeah, I'm down.
The other one is going to take 2 sword strikes into Ezra. And miss as she's spending more of her action, more of her thoughts trying to dodge you all. So Justin is dropping to the ground in the background. It's going to be the 2 of you to decide how you want to, probably still attacking the archer. And Burke, Bruno, Ezra, just attacking the archer?
Yep.
Bite's going to miss. First longsword's going to miss. The second longsword will hit. And the claws as well will miss. She's looking bloodied at that point there. Burke is going to turn and healing word Justin. You can take 6 hit points, Justin. And you can take an action. You have the archer who is just shot towards you, or the archer that is in combat with the other 2.
I'm gonna aim for the archer that's in combat since they're distracted trying to fight the others.
Gotcha. Go for it. First will hit. Doing 21. Oh yeah, you only ever get one.
Yeah, and then can I? How far away is the second archer from me? The unhurt one.
Let's see in a second. She's probably about 60 feet away. As Victor blasts into her, he's going to drag her forward.
Okay, because I was thinking I would drop prone, try and avoid any, make myself a harder target for that archer. So I think I'll do that.
Dropping prone?
Yep.
Victor's going to look at you for a second before he realizes what's going on, and he too is going to drop prone. All right, so the archer standing is going to drop 2 arrows into Burke. Both of those are going to hit, and I think that's auto-downed pretty much. Yeah, 24 damage. Burke is going unconscious. Let's see. And then the other... Damn, did I forget to strike out? No, she just missed Ezra last time. She's going to do 1 attack into Ezra, 1 attack into Bruno. Should hit Bruno with a 21 to hit, and she will deal 10 piercing damage to you. And then Bruno, Ezra, the archer you were fighting is severely bloodied. As well, Justin, you are in the same situation. The archer they are on is severely bloodied. The other is a little bit closer to you all, but she as well is bloodied.
Well, as a bear, I'm gonna keep fighting her.
I'm going to stand up, turn and fire at the other archer now. There would be no sneak attack on this if it hit.
It's going to miss her as she dodges the attack.
All right, then I'm gonna drop prone again.
And I'm still attacking the one archer in
Roll
front
it.
of us.
You two are able to take down that archer, and she is going to die at your feet. There is the single archer remaining. Victor is again pulling her a little bit closer. She's running, shooting, and then being fired on, but she's probably about 80 or 90 feet away from where Justin and Victor are fighting from, and she's probably about 60 or so feet at this point away from the two of you at the other creature. So let's see. She's going to again move kind of diagonal towards the water. She's kind of going like northwest away from you all. And she's going to look to shoot at I think that is Bruno again. 2 shots into Bruno. 18 hit you?
18 is right on the mark.
And it will do 10 more piercing damage. And then what would you all like to do? You've got this last character here. She's pretty much a range shot for anybody who is trying to hurt her.
Jason will stand up, and he doesn't want to get any closer to her. She's fleeing, but he's going to try and fire a shot at disadvantage, I would presume.
Yeah, I think she's beyond your 80 now.
Yeah, so that'll miss.
Anybody else taking a range shot at it?
I can't make any range shots, but I am going to head to Burke just to try to get him up. But I got to get close enough to him to heal him.
He's kind of right between you all, so I think it's probably about like a single movement that you can get to Burke.
All right, I'll take that. And I guess I've arrived to Burke's down body. 25 feet make it, I assume?
Yep. Like, when I say you can make it to him, you can make it to him.
All right, and I am going to use my potion of healing on him.
Gotcha. Roll 2d4 plus 2.
All right.
With that, Victor is going to release his 2 Eldritch Blasts, smashing into the last of the archers, and her body is just going to flay into pieces as she falls motionless to the ground.
Okay, now we really need to get the hell out of here.
And we got to go back for Elliewood, who is down on the ground somewhere.
I never zeroed him. Let's see. Let's call that 3 rounds. Let's see what happens to him. He's fine. So when you get to him, what are you doing?
I guess I'll cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds or something, unless someone else is doing something.
I've got no healing.
Cast it.
All right.
So you guys have everybody up. What are you thinking right now?
We need to get far away from this place as we can for now. Children will have to wait.
Yeah, I could agree on that, man. That really kind of hurt me a little bit.
Perhaps we should search for the larger group that fled up north.
Justin, roll a survival. Anybody have survival proficiency who would like to roll with him?
Ezra does. I can help him.
I'm
Go
not
for it.
going to pick up the trail.
I also have proficiency in
Limits to 2
Survival?
people. The person who brings something up is always going to be the person who rolls something, and then elsewhere. So if you've got a survival character, think survival stuff. Think about the fact like tracking is something that you've got. There's a certain level of I don't want people to step on feet, but I also want you all to realize like thinking of those things is what rewards the group. So if that makes sense, like not trying to punish you all with Justin making the roll, but the fact that he's thinking that this is what we should be doing allows the group to make the roll. But yeah, you're able to quickly find the trail while Justin's kind of looking around pretty silly in how he's like looking at like windswept grass. You're able to actually pick up the trail pretty quickly there, Ezra. Might be a little bit different than that role, being that you're a bear, so it might be slightly different. But you can kind of sniff out their tracks, and you all are able to make your way back to the rest of the town. And there's a little moment of hesitation where they're kind of looking, hoping to see somebody step out from behind you. And when it never comes, they still have a sense of welcoming for you. You were not able to find the children?
I'm sorry, we tried, but there's too many of those whoever attacked the town. We'd never have gotten in, never gotten out alive.
Did you recognize who they serve? Why are they here? Why are they attacking Leilon?
Does a symbol that looks like 3 lightning bolts mean anything to you? Knights had that etched onto their armor.
Does it mean anything to you? Roll a religion check, Justin.
Oh, I kind of just assumed he wouldn't.
I don't want to solve everything for people. Religion proficiency, give me a roll. Oh, none of you have religion? Silly holy warriors.
Wow, even Burke?
Paladins and clerics
cleric?
without religion proficiency? Yeah, okay. I'm a fanatical religious zealot. What's religion?
They know
Yeah.
about their own. Not anyone else.
Maybe they know they're so fanatical about their religion that they just completely ignore anything else. No need to learn about any other gods because you serve your god.
Exactly.
But I guess neither of them studied comparative religions. And then Justin will, as they meet the other groups, like, have you seen any more sign of creatures?
Since they've ridden on us when we were with you before, no. Things have seemed safe here.
Perhaps
Victor can recall, what is it? I think his background is, yeah, he's perfect for it. If I recall correctly, there used to be a temple in these lands to the lightning god of the sea. I believe we might find these cultists serve an angry god, one named Talos.
she certainly seems to have set her sights on Leilon. Seemed to be a very localized storm in the vicinity of the town. Perhaps if we're far enough away from it, we'll be safe. I can't say that for certain.
When we fled, we were running. They were going towards the water. They were preparing to attack the fleet. Have you seen any more of our people?
No. Only the attackers. No more people.
There's like a pretty large clamor, and among the things that you pick out, many people are saying is concerns about where the fish are going to come from, what they will eat. You start to hear people saying, we might have to abandon, return to Neverwinter. Others, you hear talks of how they have everything invested in this. It's a pretty horrendous thought for a lot of the commoners who are going on here. So you guys are off on the side with the commoners. It's probably like effectively like you could guess like between like 6 and 7 in the evening, but you can see like essentially the setting of the sun at this point. So it is certainly up to you all whether you want to try to do with a short rest or whether you actually want to try to make it into a long rest.
I think everyone might be wanting to get a long rest. Everyone's all badly beaten up, and I don't know how well your versatility of your guys are or anything.
Honestly, I wanted a long rest. It's mostly for the spell slot. Get them all back.
For me, it's since I'm a rogue, it's purely hit points. That's the only. I don't have any abilities or things like that that depend on are rest dependent. The only thing it would do is cure. I have 1 level of exhaustion, but that doesn't really come into play in a battle. So, and I think Victor, he gets his stuff back in a short rest.
Yeah, I'm never terribly trusting of hit dice when I look at characters and they have no hit dice spent. But these 3 characters all have open hit dice. Victor will gain his spell slots back on the short rest, but they are all pretty severely bloodied at this point.
Yeah, so I'm just voting on long rest.
Yeah, I think we should try and get a long rest in if we can.
Yeah. I can also change up some.
Does everybody intend to level up in the class that you currently are?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, just because I can't miss invasion. I think after that I'm going to multi-class.
So I think it is a D10 for Bruno and a D8 for Ezra and Justin for your health as you level up.
Better than usual.
So just make sure as you change this, you are adding that die roll, that 6, to the rolled hit points for your character. Same thing for Bruno. You're adding that 6 to your rolled hit points for your character. And it'll just be under class when you increase to 7. Just make sure to go in there and edit the roll. Oh, that's got to be an encounter. You guys just summon Asmodeus. You guys ready to fight one of the greatest demons of the 9 hells? So under class, you might still have some choices to make for level 7. Does not look like it.
No, I don't believe so. I think that's when I reach level 8.
So we've got Bruno gaining Relentless Avenger.
Yeah, I see that.
And Justin, what did you gain for 7? Did you gain
That's one
evasion?
evasion. Yep. And my sneak attack goes up to 46. That's everything for him. I know you said add it to the rolled hit points. Do we, before the actual rest, do we add it to our current hit point total or no?
So you guys are getting the rest. Like,
Oh,
leveling
okay,
happens
okay.
after a long rest. And Ezra, did you pick up anything for level 7? Or is that just like a null level for you?
It's basically an extra level 4 spell and hit points.
Gotcha, the spell slot, yep. So does it sound essentially like your plan will be to enter the city and both look for the children as well as deal with whatever is happening in that southwestern corner?
Yeah, I think now that we've gotten arrested, Justin wants to go back and try his luck again and see if maybe they can try and rescue them if the kids have managed to survive for the night.
Well, if everybody thinks that's what you would like to do, I think what we are going to go for is that Burke, Victor, and Elwood can go after the children, and we can remove them from the actual, from the game, from today's session. And then the 3 of you can move towards the threat in the south.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, that sounds good. Good way to sort of get rid of all the logistics issues with running 3.
So you all have, at this point, you can kind of take time during, essentially you would have plenty of time before the actual rest, and then the actual evening's rest here, where you all can actually have, this view of Leilon basically described to you as you actually discuss with people, including like Griswalda, who's able to describe a lot of the current situations. So you guys can gain the knowledge that you basically have 3 entrances to look at, whether you want to flank around the furthest direction to the south, coming through one of those entrances, come through the north, which is just the main gate, try to come from the east. If you wanted to come into the like actual swampland, there's breaks in the actual palisade. So how would you like to approach the city? Where do you all have that in mind? What would you like to do?
I think Jason would suggest maybe trying and, given that the cloud or the storm that we saw was towards the southern part of the town, right? he's probably less enthusiastic about trying to fight our way through the city itself, and so he would suggest maybe trying to circle around and um, come in from the south, or at least from that like eastern part, or maybe the broken palisade down there in this like the southeast.
Ezra, Bruno, thoughts on the plan of attack?
Yeah, I think it's a good plan. Circle around, try to come in. Don't have to fight through an entire town. Yes.
Yeah, we try to avoid less conflict as possible in order to get in. Yeah, I'll go with that plan.
So you all can set off early in the morning and start to flank around the actual lower embankments, staying just inside of the forest to keep yourselves covered from view. Pretty uneventful as you make your way across, and you find yourselves at the eastern exit of the town. Do you want to run across? Do you want to divert into a longer path and try to cross like down the road a ways? How would you like to cross that eastern road that leaves Leilon?
I would rather vote on diverting.
Sorry, so essentially you're saying we're kind of like at this point by this entrance here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so the issue is whether we go in through here or try to cross back into the woods and circle around farther.
Yeah, do you just cross to try to clear the ground and get there? Do you want to, like, there? I mean, it's essentially as creative as you all want to get, but more or less cross here, or do you want to try to cross down the road?
Yeah, probably have a better chance of avoiding detection if we, like Bruno said, divert and kind of put a little distance and then kind of cross farther up east here. So that'd be my vote as well.
Indeed.
Sound good for you,
Yeah.
Ezra?
Yeah.
Ezra, Bruno, let me get survivals from you.
Alrighty then.
Thank God it's.
You guys keep yourselves pretty well on track, making your way through the woods. You're able to find the general areas that they've kind of pointed out, where I think those are meant to be like massive mounds of dirt kind of things, where it's like a raised plateau, a couple of ruined like actual stonework houses kind of thing from the old Leilon. You guys find yourselves on the opposite side of one of those at a pretty ideal spot to make your way across. And let me just get a stealth check from you all. Pretty confident as you cross the road itself that there doesn't seem to be anything in this area. You all are able to make your way into the opposite side of the forest. Just trying to get back to the palisade as soon as possible. Do you all want to stay a little bit more stealthy inside of the actual forest? How fast do you want to get there? What are you thinking there?
Do we have any idea of how, if we go around, sort of like around these these small sort of hills or whatever, how much that would add rather than going sort of straight down?
By the description that you would have got, it's not necessarily that it's going to take extra time. It's just an increased chance that you would get lost. But basically, like, there's the gamble of you guys can head directly to the palisade and have that to guide you, or you can try to keep yourselves on point through the forest, and you've got like better chances of not being noticed. And that's kind of like where the like weighted side is speed and ease versus like the time would come in finding your way.
Right, got it. Well, Justin will defer to Bruno and Ezra on this because he is not a tracker.
I mean,
If they
I'd
think
say
they
this
can
is
guide us through the forest without, you know.
it's still for you all to decide as a group like how you want to do it.
Indeed. And well, as long as not both of us fuck up our rolls, I think we should be fine to still continue.
Yeah, I think we should try to take the safe path. Attention to
All right, go for the survivals again. Pretty confidently, you all keep to the path. You are able to find yourselves through the forest. And what are you aiming for? Coming out at the bottom end towards the actual entrance? Are you looking for to enter like in the Palisades Gap? Or would you all like to approach the city?
I think through the Palisade Gaps wouldn't be a bad idea.
I was also considering going like that maybe. Exactly like that, but
Yeah, I guess the other thing too is if we stick to the outside for now, if we do have to run away, there's a better chance of being able to do that when we're already outside the city, the town walls.
yeah, the thing to consider though is getting close to the water and seeing they do have some connection to the
Yeah, my vote would be for following Ezra's path, so continue on down the forest and then coming around along the sort of southern edge of the town.
All right, I'll go with that. I'll go with you guys as well.
This is also a tidal flat on some level as well there. Like part of that flooding is this is lowland. And it's like that verge of swamp. So for now, you guys would know that that is essentially like mud most of the year, most of the time.
and that might change. That could be exciting. Get attacked in the mud.
So would the plan then just diverge up to this spot?
So yeah, essentially trying to just stay north of the sort of tidal flats as much as we can. We'll still get into the same destination.
All right, sounds good.
All right then.
So let's have you all make stealth checks as you move out of the forest and you start to follow your way towards this area. As you come into the open area there's certainly times where you question whether there's anyone nearby. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of activity. You do notice as you kind of get to the actual high road as it's coming out of Leilon that there appears to be a camp to the southwest of you all. And as you kind of look into it, it seems to be abandoned at present. And you kind of gather that maybe that's a fishing camp, and some of the itinerant workers from Waterdeep actually stay in this area. But you are able to make it up to the area as you start to move through the Palisades, and you guys can start to enter through and into the storm itself. What do you have in mind as you approach the actual Palisade area there? How are you guys going to move forward? What's your marching order?
And I guess Jason's the stealthiest, so it might make sense for him to be in the lead. But Ezra probably has more familiarity, maybe as a druid with these kind of weather phenomenon. So, Ezra, what do you think?
Well, I'm thinking it's not natural. Stayed same place for a length of time.
And I'm fine staying last because of my jingly little armor that I have. I'm kind of disadvantaged with stealth.
All right, so maybe like Jason in the lead, Ezra kind of a little bit behind him, and then keeping a little bit of distance to try and maybe Bruno third.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Probably try to keep a lookout for whoever making this.
Oh, you guys chose like the best way to never have a view of who is making that storm. So as you approach Justin, when you get close to some of the breaks in the palisade, you are actually going to see that there seems to be a humanoid who is standing with blue skin. And as you kind of like bring the others into like the edge of the palisade there, you all can take a few moments to actually glance. This humanoid seems to be just almost purely blue. And as she kind of moves about a little more, you start to see like the waves of her hair are almost like crashing oceans. And then it dawns on you that you can see her hair flowing, that the waves are horns, that this woman might actually have blue skin. She's got blue horns, and her dress kind of is flowing about her, and you notice that there is a piercing tip coming out of her dress as she has a tail that is almost as long as she is tall. And she seems to be weaving the water in front of her as she looks out over the coastal area ahead of you. And within a few moments of noticing this, a creature starts to grow from the water and steps through. And as it steps out of the water, there is a small whirlwind about the size of this creature, of this humanoid ahead of you. But it's like a whirl of water that has stepped out onto the land. And as she chants, little other bits of water start to whirl around it. And it seems that on some level you might have found what the ritual is, and she seems to be summoning some sort of water creatures to this area.
So Justin's going to sort of gesture towards her and then back towards the others and like as quietly as he can and be like, I think she seems to be in charge or controlling things. Perhaps if we can take her out and end this unnatural storm.
Sounds like a good plan.
I'm suspect at the moment.
We should at least try to interrogate her if we can get the chance.
If we can knock her out safely, I can try and get a shot off before have that be a signal for you to close. But we shouldn't spend too much time debating here.
Right. Let's move then.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. About how far is she from where we are in the Palisades?
Probably about 40 or so feet from you.
All right. So with that sort of plan decided, Jason's going to step out from the side of the palisade and he's going to try and fire an arrow at the blue-skinned person, humanoid.
Map I set up for this is horrendous. What was I thinking? It's all water.
Wait, there's no land at all on that map?
Thinking of Arrested Development. The blue is
That's-
land, right?
That's the map that I decided to use. Like, what the fuck was I going for there?
And we're gonna wait for a couple of moments till you get the right map.
So the actual counters don't matter the least bit on this one. But effectively, at that point, and I think it's probably like 50 or 60 feet from me there. No, I mean, for what it's worth, I probably just couldn't find an actual, like, good, like, Vista map. Because apparently that is horrendous. But yeah, how do you all want to approach this? I think Justin's about to shoot the arrow. So Ezra and Bruno, how are you reacting?
Can I first cast Bless on all of us?
Most certainly.
Alright, so anyone can put that on their attack roll or saving throw. For each, I think it's each turn.
It's on any attack rolls or saving throws.
Okay, any. All right.
There's a storm already here. Yeah, I think start concentrating on that.
Lightning is 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's duration up to 10 minutes. As I casted, I actually
You guys are not surprising them. This is just your first turn at this point. So, roll initiatives for me there.
Please ignore the decibels. That's from some other campaigns where they asked me to do decibels. I can't get rid of it now.
Is your initiative, is your dexterity 10?
Yes.
That's for the better. I prefer people to have it set up like that, because that tells me how to break ties. Holy, crushing the initiative there, Ezra.
yeah. Love it. A 1 and a 20.
So, Justin, Arrow, take your shot.
All right. Can I use a bonus action to try and get insightful fighting on the blue-skinned person calling the storm?
Go for it. It's gonna be pretty successful.
No sneak attack.
Any movement holding behind the palisade wall?
Yeah, I kind of would have like popped out from behind it and then tried to pop back behind it after the shot.
Gotcha. Then it will go to Bruno.
Okay, me. Check my spells. Now, can I cast Bane on her 3 creatures that she summoned?
Bane concentration.
Yes, it is.
Is Bless concentration.
Yes, that is too. I
Would
can't
you
cast
like to
both,
cast
right?
Bane? You can hold 1 concentration spell.
Okay, so I gotta keep the bless. Where can I go in 30 feet? Because I have Misty Step.
What do you want to do with it? You can close the ground on them and get closer to them. You can get like further away. You can. What do you want to do with it?
I like to try to like I'm trying to think of trying to surprise them from a different angle. Trying to not get them stared up on this point here. And try to attack them from a
So yeah, you could kind of move to either the east of them, or you could move to the south of them and be further away from your friends, depending on how far away you want to be from them. If you were to Misty Step directly towards them, you might be able to make it into combat with one of them. But that would be like Misty Step plus your movement.
Okay. Okay. I think I'm just gonna stay here and see what they do.
So just holding behind the palisade?
Yeah, holding by about the Palestine. Yeah, that is my go, being at the Palestine.
One of the water weirds is going to move down into the water and apparently disappear. The water elemental is going to spin as it sees you all. It is going to kind of like splash down into the water at her feet. And it's going to come up probably about like halfway between you all. And then it is going to again kind of like fall into the actual water in this mud, and it's going to pop up behind the palisade and inside of your group. She is going to reach up into the sky, and she is going to drop her hand as a lightning bolt is going to strike down So dexterity saving throw from I think all three of you. DC 13. So Justin, you will take no damage as the lightning bolt strikes down. Ezra, you are going to take half. And dexterity from Bruno.
Wait, sorry, why am I taking half?
Yeah,
Oh
think
yeah, I
Ezra
said
would have
that wrong.
failed.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so Jason's going to take none. Each of the other two of you are going to take 21. And I believe at present, Bruno, make a Constitution save.
All right.
And if it's close enough, add that D4. Doesn't matter. So you maintain concentration. And let's see. I think one more water weird is going to drop down into the water and seemingly disappear. And it will go to Ezra.
Well, seeing as she called down lightning on me, it seems only fair that I do the same to her.
Make a perception check for me, Ezra. See a sense of shock across her face as the lightning from above is most unexpected for this creature to have to see brought down upon herself.
And as a bonus action, I'm gonna spirit token. Air spirit, that's 13.
So the three of you can add 13 temporary hit points for yourself.
Plus, we get advantage on strength checks and strength
Okay.
saving throw.
Your totems don't take concentration, right?
13, you said? 13 temporary hit points?
Yeah, 13. And no concentration.
Oh, they are still timed though, but it's 10 minutes, right?
1 minute,
1 minute. Word.
or until I'm incapacitated.
Son of a bitch.
What just happened?
Should go back around to Justin.
Okay. Should have asked this before, but how bad is the wind within this storm? Like, do I have a sense it could be throwing off my aim?
No, it's not really like wind so much as this is the actual elements being drawn here.
Okay. It's okay, so I'm within 5 feet of this thing now. All right, so I'm going to bonus action disengage, try and again kind of like pop out from this palisade. I'm going to fire another arrow at the priestess.
That will hit.
And no sneak attack, obviously. And then I think if I can, I'm going to try and move, kind of like staying, if I can, like move up a little bit. Keep the palisade between myself and her if I can, even though.
Make a athletics or an acrobatics check.
Okay, I wasn't sure how high,
Yeah, those are defensive like earth walls that you're kind of climbing up there. Yeah, you're able to climb up that area, so you can make it to that area.
Okay, and that'll be my turn.
To Bruno.
Alrighty then. So this creature is in front of me and Ezreal, right?
Yeah, it's right next to all of you, or it was until Justin moved away.
I guess I'll just. What is this? Smearing Smite?
Damn, I knew that one was bigger. Yeah, it's actually a big ass creature. All of them are big ass except for her. Fuck.
I'm just going to cast Smearing Smite first level.
I believe Searing Smite's a bonus action for you.
Yes, it is.
And I think that's the next time you hit, it's going to deal that damage.
Indeed, it will.
So make your attacks.
All
It's
right.
going to apply it to the 15. So you will smash in for 9, dealing an extra 6. What is the 4 for? Is that like a pre-rolled for a crit? It's 1d6 normally for Searing Smite.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it save or suck? Does it say it takes half damage if it fails, or if it passes the save? You can also, yep, there you go.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Okay, the second one was if it caught fire. Failed save, so yeah, it still takes the d6. It just doesn't catch off. Oh, no. On a successful save, spell ends.
So it looks like at the first hit deals the damage,
Yeah, the second
no
is if
matter
it
what.
fails.
right? And it takes the save at the start of its turn. Essentially, like quenches the fire if it succeeds.
Word. So it's going to deal 15 on that initial hit, and then you will deal 13 more on your second strike.
All right. So it did take damage. Did I take damage myself or something? Did I hear?
When you get struck by lightning, you would have taken damage.
How much damage was that lightning?
21.
21. Okay.
Don't forget the first 13 are from your temporary.
He did not have the temporary hit points when he got struck.
Oh, that was that before Ezra cast it. Sorry, never mind. Disregard.
Any other movement from you, or are you finished there, Bruno?
It it still will take an opportunity of attack if I do move. Is it like really in front of me?
Yeah, it came up out of the ground right next to all three of you.
Yeah, so there's no point in me taking that opportunity attack. So I'll stay here. That's the end of my turn.
The elemental is going to slam into each of you, as it will make an attack against Bruno and then Ezra. And both of those are 22s to hit. It is going to deal 11 bludgeoning to Bruno and 18 bludgeoning damage to Ezra. Ezra, Constitution saving throw for me, please. Good. The Kraken Priestess is going to call down a bolt of lightning.
And I think Bruno has to make one too, right? For
Bruno
bless?
casts Searing Smite. It is a concentration spell.
Oh, okay.
She's going to call it down on Justin. That was actually stupid. Dexterity saving throw, Justin. DC 13. Take no damage. And it's going to go to Ezra.
All lightning on the priest. Oh, wait. Disregard that one. That's. You can remove the 10. So, level higher than I actually casted it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Just make sure you won't have to actually make sure that it didn't use an extra slot to do that.
And it did. And I think I'm gonna move like still within the Water Elemental's reach, like away from standing next to it.
You can definitely rotate around it, basically. But as you do so, you get a pretty solid sense that you're going to have to leave it to not be able to be attacked by this creature. Like, you're still effectively standing next to him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm basically just doing it so get hit by lightning.
Like you can keep moving farther south to be farther away from him because it looks like you're still kind of within 5 feet of him, I think is what he's saying.
No, I think he got it. Like, moving away from the lightning, it's certainly viable. Moving away from the creature, he's done nothing to change its ability. Like, it can put its arms where it needs to be. It has no body, just shape.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
As the lightning overhead dissipates, so too does the storm, and it goes back to clear weather.
Sorry. Does my lightning go away then?
No, you still have your lightning storm, you just no longer get the extra D10.
Oh, okay, so now it's like my own. Okay.
And it will go to Justin.
Okay. Staying on the top of here, trying to get line of sight again on the priestess. I'm going to try and go insightful fighting again.
That's going to fail. Just be a normal attack.
Okay, so if that hits, it would just be 8, and then I'm going to kind of move back to where I was before, kind of try and get behind the palisade again. And then that'll be it for me.
Roll a perception check. As the arrow enters in through her heart, she drops. And the moment she falls into the mud, there's just a splash, and it seems like water is rising. Bruno, what would you like to do?
Okay, well, concerning from the shock I got in, I guess he's not going to use his longsword, but he's going to sheath it back into his belt and take out his light hammer. So I guess he's just going to try to, because this creature is still standing in front of me,
Oh, yeah.
right? So yeah, is my hammer made out of metal? That's a question.
I think probably almost everything that you have is made out of metal.
Piss.
You're a dwarf. You're pretty well metal people. It's kind of what you do.
Yeah, I have the greatest disadvantage with this. Oh boy.
I mean, I assume you're wearing metal armor too, right?
I think chainmail is metal armor unless it's made of some sort of other material.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, everything about you is metal right now. Paladins, dwarves, there's a lot of metal in the character that you've created.
I think I need to somehow focus on the priest than this thing because I can't fight it at all.
Roll a perception check. Take up your free action, so you'll have to keep your sword out or drop your sword if you wanted to switch off of it. Glance around the palisade. The priest is gone. Right now, it appears to be just that creature that's in front of you.
Is it possible that I could shove the creature with my shield as the bonus action?
You can certainly try.
All right. I guess as my bonus action, I'm going to shove this creature. So apparently I'm taking the attack action on this turn.
So make your attacks.
All right, I'm just doing that one longsword attack.
Why?
And then the shove. I don't know. Does the damage... Is the lightning still on that I could get shocked?
Um,
That's the thing I'm worrying about, because I got shocked with lightning, and I did not know if it was because of this creature.
you saw the priest was gone. Can't really tell you too much more than that from what you've got. But you make 2 attacks with your attack action, so you can throw away the attack and not make a second. It's up
Alright.
to you.
Well, I miss anyway.
But you seem to cut through with the first slash. Make a strength athletics check. What, you can push the creature 5 feet?
Alright, I'm pushing the towards the water's
Oh.
edge, I guess? Or I
You
don't
can
know.
choose to knock it prone, or you can push it 5 feet away from it.
Oh, I would like to knock it prone.
Nothing happens.
Piss!
As it seems to move away from you, the water just kind of splashes away from your shield, and it reforms in pretty much the same position it was in.
Okay. Definitely gonna move now. This sucks. But I gotta make a move away from this thing. So I guess I'm taking the opportunity of attack.
Swing out at you, 18 to hit. I believe that's going to be a hit.
Yep.
And it's going to do 14 bludgeoning damage to you as you move away from it. Where are you looking to move to?
Towards Justin, on top of the hill.
Make an athletics check or an acrobatics check. You're able to move out there, so he's... I mean, I feel like just in general, he's on top of the hill, because I think most of the movements, like moving one square in here is 50 spaces as far as Leilon goes. But yeah, you can move up top.
All right. And that will be the end of my turn, I guess. Now, how much damage did that thing do again? Because I think I forgot to count it.
14 bludgeoning. Ezra, it is going to move back towards you as its face just kind of appears on the backside of the water looking at you. It's going to splash down on top of you, and as it rises up out of the mud, you are going to be completely surrounded by this creature. Make a strength saving throw for me. And you're probably still close enough that you can have your totem.
So with advantage.
So it's going to push you further away towards the waters.
Am I still submerged?
Nope, you push out of it. What are you going to do?
It's thinking like shooting the lightning behind it. I don't get hit by it. 5 feet within.
Roll the damage. No more storms up overhead. You are approaching the end of your totem. Would you like to move it closer to you? I think that's a bonus action you can do.
And I'm gonna try to like circle facing that end of it.
Gotcha.
And then I'm gonna move the totem a bit closer to me. 15 feet close. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, so you're still, like, much closer to the water than that. You're not at the water's edge any longer, but, like, they're still a good distance away from you. So it is going to go around to Justin.
All right, so kind of looking towards where the priestess was. Do I get a sense of how fast the water is rising? Is it rising like just around her body, or kind of like all around her?
You can take your free action to make a perception check.
I'm not going to notice.
You don't see anything. There just seems to be water in that area.
Okay, well, basically like tell the others, like, not sure if she's dead, but focus on this thing for now, and I'm going to turn and fire a shot at the elemental. No crit, so I think it would just be 24 if we use that sneak attack.
22.
Oh, is what 17 plus?
It should be 7 plus 15.
Oh, that top 15 is. You're right. Yep. Yeah. 22. You're right. I thought that was something else, not the 46. So sorry.
Anything else from you?
I'm gonna. Might as well use my bonus action to try and get insightful fighting on it. And then that'll be my turn.
Doesn't seem to have an effect. On to Bruno.
Alright, I'm gonna cast second level Cure Wounds on myself. For 11. And can I take a bonus action perception or something you said?
What are you trying to find out?
I'm trying to still see what's going on with this lady over here.
You can do a perception check.
Alright.
Looking over, you don't see the body. Like, whatever Jason was talking about doesn't quite make sense.
Alright then. I guess that's gonna be my turn. Just healing myself.
The creature is going to slam into Ezra, dealing 7 bludgeoning damage, and then do a strength check against you. You've got advantage. No way that's going to work. And we'll go to Ezra.
I should. Oh yeah, con.
Yeah, con 10. Excellent.
No lightning anymore. Well, then I'm gonna do. I use healing word on myself.
Of course. It's any creature within 60 feet. Are you within 60 feet of yourself?
Yeah, I would think so.
Are you a creature?
Yeah, but it's just get.
Can you cast a spell?
You whisper sweet nothings to yourself.
It's just that I think I got confused. They say can see within range, but
Hold up your hand. Can you see your hand?
yeah, I healed my hand.
And it should go to Justin.
Why? I'm done.
What else do you want to do?
I wanted to turn into a bear.
Go for it. And then it'll go to Justin. Like, you guys can
Alright.
finish your turns, but when you do main stuff, like, I'm going to move on and try to get it, like, moving.
Alright, I'm gonna do insightful fighting. And then fire an arrow. At the obviously the only thing I can see right now.
Drop in. Why are you doing insightful fighting? Ezra's still in combat with it.
I was thinking in case it moves away at some point, because it lasts for 10 rounds if I get it, and I don't have any other really thing to do with my bonus action.
Gotcha.
So obviously, so it beat me, so it would just be the 6.
Well, no, you still get sneak attack because Ezra's there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Playing Sandravel the other campaign, it's like totally screwed me for like forgetting everything rogue based.
Wait till you start DMing.
Yeah.
Gotta know every single character, all of their subclasses, and all of the monsters.
Yeah. And then if I can, with a free action, essentially try and take a look again towards the priestess, see if I can make out like
You can do it
what's
at
happening with this
disadvantage.
water. And that's my turn.
The water in this area seems higher than it was. What that means, who knows for you at present. Bruno.
Okay. Considering I cannot literally attack this thing, the only thing I can think of is casting Bane on this creature.
You can bait it.
That was not supposed to be second level, but
Just make sure to use the right spell slot.
yeah, it was supposed to be a first level spell slot.
I feel like it does nothing if it passes the save, right?
Yeah, it does nothing.
I'm not sure if
But
there's
I
any
could, but I
reason
could
to
double
hold
check.
Yeah, it does nothing if it saves. Anything else from you?
Okay. Let me check my bonus actions. I guess I could do Channel Divinity. A Vow of Enmity. Let me get this up.
Can vow of enmity it. It is not within 10 feet. Do you want to run closer to it?
Not particularly, no. So I guess I'll just be standing up top here. Just not doing much other than just trying to cast Bane, but it failed.
So it's going to reach out and slam. Oh, wait a second. Going to reach out and slam into Ezra. That's going to miss. And then a grapple check. You've got your strength advantage. No way that's going to work. See a bunch of ones. And it's off to Ezra.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite and claw.
That first will miss. Second as well misses, as the creature just seems to be kind of sloshing around, and the water doesn't really stay in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the end of my turn.
And it will go to Justin.
I'm gonna keep on firing at it. And just hold my position, I think. And that'll be my turn.
As you release the arrow, there's a deluge of water that just splashes up out of the ground, and it's almost as if like this whole area has been turned into a fountain. And you're all like kind of standing in like a muddy slush. All of this ground is going to be difficult terrain as there is water just flowing up out of the earth.
So wait, down on this hill area, that's what's happening? Or is it
On
happening
top of
up
the hill.
on top of the hill? Oh,
Yep,
jeez.
this whole area, on top of the hill, down in the actual ground area, all of this has been being inundated with water.
Hey, boys, I think we're gonna need to hurry this up. Something doesn't look right.
Another elemental of water is going to come from the west. As it closes in, it's going to essentially charge into Bruno at that point, and it will go to Bruno.
Oh, wait, is it my turn now?
It is indeed.
Okay, then. I don't think these things are humanoid, right?
You can certainly try.
Nah, I just no. I'm gonna cast Misty Step.
Where are you going?
I'm moving back down on the hill.
Back towards Ezra?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then my bonus action with because I'm now 10 feet of this creature, right? I think. Because I'm right beside him.
You could probably use all of your movement to get within 10 feet of it.
Alright. And I'll use my bonus action to do this. Simply.
Misty Step is a bonus action. Those are both bonus actions.
Oh, they're both bonus actions? Oh, fuck. I did not realize. Okay, then. Switching up my divinity then. Because I did not know both of them were the same. I'll just use this divinity. I don't think that's a bonus action though.
DC 13, I believe.
Yep. So I believe it fails.
Anything else from Bruno?
No. Just that. Now it's supposedly frightened, right?
Not sure how water would look frightened, but you hope so.
That's all I can ask for. Just to get it off my mate. Alright, end of action.
As the water is gushing up out of the ground at your feet, Justin, you're going to feel a grasp against your feet. 21 should hit you.
Yeah.
And we'll do 11 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Is that something I can uncanny dodge? Do I
You
see
can
the
have
attack
it.
coming? Okay, so I'll use that as my reaction.
I mean, you're probably paying attention to the water on some level, but otherwise, no. It's basically a surprise attack, but go for it. You can uncanny.
Okay. And so it's just that 11, you said? The 3d6? Is that the damage? Sorry.
14. So 7 damage.
14. Got it. Okay.
And you are grappled, and it is going to pull you towards like the font of water where it has come up.
Okay.
I think it's just gonna slash out twice at Ezra. First attack, going to miss. Second attack, will hit. And it will do 16 bludgeoning damage to you, Ezra. And it will go to you, Ezra.
I'll wipe this.
Losing your mic again, but you're gonna bite and claw at it?
Yeah, the one that just hit me.
Gotcha, make the attacks. First one's going to hit, the second one will miss.
And yeah, that's it for now.
On to Justin.
Okay. So grappled. How deep is the water sort of around me? Or how high up is it reached, I guess?
What are you looking for?
Well, I'm thinking I want to drop my bow, but I don't want to drop it into like have it risk being washed away.
It's going to be dangerous if you drop an item in this.
Yeah.
The earth is opening up to shed water. So on some level, if that's your concern, yes, it's very dangerous to drop an item at this point.
Okay, so I'm going to sling my bow back over my shoulder then. And then that's an action, right? To sort of do that.
It's your free action.
Okay. And then I guess in that case I'll draw my rapier since I can't move and I can't get away from this thing. And so draw.
So
and
that's
stab
where
at
it'll
it.
hit you. Like, you won't be able to attack if you draw a weapon. You could do an unarmed strike at it if you take your free action to to basically put your bow away. Or you can just try to break free of the grapple with your action.
Okay.
But that's where the cost comes in, is normally drawing that rapier is the use of that free action.
Got it. Right. Okay. Yeah, in that case, then I'll sling it back, and then I will attempt to break out of the grapple. Then, even if I hit it with an unarmed strike, my damage is 0.
I think it's just a strength save. Oh, no, my bad. You could do athletics or acrobatics. You're able to get yourself free, so you have a bonus action.
And then my bonus action, I'll disengage, and then attempt to kind of like try and kind of get away from it. Maybe back towards the back towards this way is kind of as far as I can get. Is the how is the water like continuing on up above us as well?
It's mostly like that area that you are inside of is all just being inundated with water, and then all of the lower areas are doing the same. But effectively, where you guys are fighting or were fighting is where the water is coming from.
Okay, so essentially I'm going to try and like slosh my way as far away kind of to this northeast direction away from it as I can.
You do that.
And that's it for me.
The other water elemental is going to close in, and it is going to splash down on top of Ezra as well as Bruno, and the two of you can make strength saving throws at advantage.
Well, I think I'm good anyway.
Yep, that will be a solid no-go for it. And it's going to go to Bruno.
Okay. Considering that this one is frightened, I guess I'll have to try to slash this thing with my longsword because literally nothing else I can do, really.
The frightened one?
Not the frightened one, this thing that's above us.
Gotcha. First attack slashes through, second attack's going to miss.
Alright. I guess I'll just be holding a reaction with my Shield Master Evasion. If it does something.
You don't have to hold your reaction. Like, your reaction is always something you have access to if it procs whatever that trigger is.
Okay. Okay. I just didn't know if I had to call it out or something.
When the trigger happens, you have to call it out.
Okay. End of turn.
The water weird is going to again strike out at Justin. And it should again be able to grasp you. And this one, another 14 damage.
Okay, I'll use my reaction on Kenny Dodge. I saw this one coming.
7 again. Let's see.
And I'm assuming I'm grappled, right?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it does grapple you again.
Okay.
How are you two looking? Ezra, Bruno? Ezra, are you a bloodied bear?
Yeah, I'm a very blooded bear.
Under a quarter?
Yeah, definitely.
And Bruno,
me-
are you at half?
Yeah, I'm at half.
Are you under a quarter?
No? I don't think.
The elemental is going to... What are you thinking?
Oh no, I was just saying it's like, is 30 technically half?
What are you? You're at 65 is your max hit points now?
Yeah, it is.
So 32 is where you're going to be bloodied, and 16 is where you're severely bloodied.
Okay.
Those are visual levels where you can see things health effectively. Otherwise, outside of those parameters, you can't really see health. So yeah, it's going to strike out. I think it's going to go one on each of you. So on Ezra, 17, 15 hit you, Ezra? With your bear's
Yes, it
DC?
does.
Word. And it will do 11 damage to you. And then at Bruno, it's going to miss. And then it is going to... Fuck, that was the wrong creature's attack. It is the +7, which would still hit, but it should be for 8 bludgeoning instead of that 11, Ezra. So I think 3 less hit points removed.
Okay.
Not a cheater. I do everything by the rules, so when I make mistakes, I solve them. Yeah. And it's going to leap into the water and disappear. So as it moves away from you two, you can react to it breaking combat.
All right, I'm gonna slash it with my sword.
And Ezra, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna hit it with my quarterstaff, seeing as I'm not a bear anymore.
Very nice. Let's see those attacks, guys. Both will hit. And for what it is, can't quite tell if it disappeared into the water or if it died. But it seems to be gone as it leaps off into the ocean. What would you like to do, Ezra?
The other creature below us. That one.
That was the one that was frightened before, that you guys have been working on for a while, that just leapt in the water.
And then we got this guy above us.
Yeah, that one's pretty much on you all, because last turn it tried to whelm you, so it like splashed down into you, and you both saved, so it pushed you back away from where it came from.
I'm gonna cure wound. Oh,
That's when you know shit is dire, when somebody throws a 3rd level spell away on a Cure Wounds.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try to move away actually. So try let's that get some distance.
14.
That will hit.
It's going to do 14 damage. Bludgeoning.
Yeah, and I'm moving like 30 feet away, as far away as I can.
Gotcha. Anything else from you?
No, no bonus action. So that's the end of me.
Jesse, make an intelligence check for me. Crushing. What would you like to do?
So at this point, as I'm grappling by this thing, I'm gonna kind of, and seeing the other one kind of dissipate, I'm gonna call those like, could use some help here, and then I'm going to draw my rapier and just stab at the thing that's grappling me.
Gotcha. You can make that attack.
And that'll miss. And I can't really grapple, so I can't really, there's no real bonus action to do, so I think that's it for me for this turn.
Creature is going to leap down onto Bruno. Strength saving throw. I think you're probably still close enough at advantage.
So an advantage saving throw?
Yep, strength saving throw. And it consumes you in the water. As it splashes down on you, you will take 12 bludgeoning damage. You will be grappled, as well as restrained, and you are unable to breathe. What would you like to do, Bruno?
Get the hell out of there, of course. So another strength save.
You can make a athletics or an acrobatics check.
Athletics, please.
You try to force your way out of this creature, but the water seems to be reforming itself around you.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything else I can do.
That's your action, so you have bonus. You have free actions.
Can
But
I take
that's
my
essentially
bonus
it.
action to use Misty Step to get out of here?
You can most certainly Misty Step.
All right, and I'm going to teleport somewhere up top here somewhere.
Can pop out up closer to Justin. He's
And I-
kind of on the opposite side of it, like the end of that little palisade, closer towards the actual like ruins there. You're probably about like towards like kind of the start of it there. The 30 feet's probably pretty much up the actual ledge. And then Ezra is probably about 30 feet down that hill, but closer to the hill there.
All right. At least I can breathe. God, I hate water down my throat. And yeah, so that's end of my turn.
Justin, do you look bloodied?
No, I'm okay.
And Bruno is still bloodied?
Yes.
The creature is going to drop into the water and it is going to pop up in front of Bruno as it will grasp out at you. That should hit with a 22.
Yep.
It is going to do 16 bludgeoning damage to you, and you will be grappled by it. It's going to go to Ezra.
Okay, now I'm severely bloodied.
I'm gonna do Call Lightning, and 4th level. And I'm gonna do it on the water elemental that grabbed Bruno before and almost drowned him.
The western water creature there.
Yep, exactly. Then I'm gonna move back like, I don't know, 10 feet maybe, and drag the totem so that Bruno's within it.
I feel like we definitely lose track of you moving the totem, not having like an actual gridded area. So I think you've had some turns where you've like not used your bonus action, where it seems viable that you could probably have it around him. But that's one of those things. Like on some level, again though, this map doesn't work because they're 50-foot squares, so it takes 2 movements to even move inside of a square. This map is far more about having theater of the mind and having you guys see the actual town, because I fucked up and created like a swamp map instead of an actual useful map. 23. But like in general, if you're not doing anything with your bonus action, just make that actual like reference, like I'm moving my bear totem. Not that it matters too much, as there's only 2 turns left here, but I do prefer theater of the mind as much as possible, because most maps, they're just not sufficient for what it is. And there's a lot more room to allow you all to be creative with theater of the mind. Justin, what would you like to do?
All right, so I'm going to attempt to break out of this thing's grapple again.
It is not on you. It left you.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was big enough that I could do it.
Yeah, it's after me, and I am severely bloodied.
So I'm going to stab out at the this thing again with my rapier. Jeez. And I'm going to disengage with a bonus action and try to move kind of back north towards town, like away from the water as far as I can, as much as I can.
Gotcha. You're about at the water's edge, so you feel pretty confident that you're able to make it beyond the water there.
I just be like, hang on, Bruno, and then that's it for my turn.
Boy, I'll be trying, laddie!
It's 3 nat ones in a row for me.
All right, I think the elemental is going to move towards Ezra, and it is going to try to slam. Dealing 23 damage, bludgeoning to you.
Well, I am so down.
And then it is going to I think that's pretty much what it has. I think it's going to strike out at you. And it will deal 2 death saving throws to you. And it will go to Bruno.
Okay, so I'm grappled right now, right?
You are indeed. You have 0 movement.
Okay then. So technically, I can still kind of heal myself, right?
You can still take actions. You can still take bonus actions. Everything else is natural. You just have 0 movement speed.
I'm gonna touch myself with lay on hands and restore 35 of HP.
Any bonus actions?
None that I can use because I've used up all my second spell slots.
The water weird is going to restrain you as it fills the area where you are around, Jess, and you'll start to see the body of Bruno floating around inside of this creature. And once again, Bruno, you are underwater and cannot breathe. Ezra, death saving throw.
Oh no.
Talos does not agree with the way that you played your servant to the god of lightning.
He apparently did not.
I think it is safe to say that is the final time I will be killing Ezra, and it is time for you to create a new character. And I think that's also where we are going to end things here. Top of the order, Ezra is dead. Bruno is consumed inside of a water weird, and Justin is looking on at the last 2 of these water creatures as the water is flowing from this pinnacle on top of the palisade. And we will pick up next week.
All right. I like how we started the session with Ezra dead, and then we ended the session with Ezra dead again.
Yeah, it was a weird twist of things. Because last week I basically told him, like, I think it's viable that you've attracted the attention of Talos when you called down lightning against his servants. So I was open to playing a different Ezra. I have to say, again, I'm not going to force you to do anything. I wanted you to try to convince the characters that maybe saving Leilon was not the right choice. That if the Cult of Talos was here, there's a reason that Leilon should be destroyed. But that was one of those things, like, I feel like in the long run, that seems like a pretty decided way things play out. We'll see how everything kind of picks up next week here. But again, I think that's kind of the final moment for Ezra as we, for what things are worth, consider the blessing of Talos removed from your body as you are returned to the death that consumed you oh so long ago.